Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, yeah, good
Good afternoon.
afternoon.
Yeah,
How
good
are you
afternoon.
guys? How are you? How are you?
Fine.
Okay, okay. Great. Okay, so let's start today's session. And before starting, let me introduce myself. My name is Arun Kumar, and I have around 9 years of experience in this IT industry. And I have worked for few companies. Like I started my career with TCS, then I worked for Herman, then I worked for Tradance Analytics. Then I work for WNS as subject matter expert in this Azure Data Engineering. So this is my whole area of expertise, and in this much years of experience, I have successfully transitioned careers of many students from various backgrounds. Many we have been able to successfully transition careers of candidates from non-technical background. We have been able to successfully transition the candidate careers of candidates having support background, having non-developer background. So these are various backgrounds from which we have been successfully able to transition the career of candidates and change their career. If I talk about the few companies in which our candidates are working, okay, so these are the list of few companies in which our candidates are working right now as Azure Data Engineer. And if we talk about our operation, then we started Forum D just uh, almost 9-10 months back. Before that, it was not normally known as Forum D. But once we started seeing the success of candidates by our guidance, we started setting up this Forum D, that is Forum for Data Engineers. We are building this expertise slowly, and we are very much reaching that path. So this is like how our journey started. Now, if I talk about this profile, this is your data engineering profile. Okay, I mean you all have come here for one common goal to learn Azure Data Engineering, or you are already working in Azure Data Engineering. You want to upskill yourself. There may be any of the motives for which you are present here. We will talk around that, right? How we will be moving with the course. Before that, I want to show some stats to you. Uh, as you know that this data engineering is one of the booming technology right now. What I can say that it is even more demanding than data science, but it is underlooked. This is what my experience says. And even these data engineers are getting paid more than any other skill sets that is there in market. And we are talking about two things right now: data engineering over cloud. So here we are combining basically the two skills. One is data engineering and another one is cloud. If I talk about if I talk about if I start comparing different who are like in demand in the market, okay, so you can see that this data engineers are at the top. There are many other profiles as well, like backend developer, data scientist, CRM developer, UI developer, Python developer, Android developer. Many other roles are there, but this data engineers is one of the fastest growing tech occupation which is there in the market right now, in the tech market right now. If I go ahead, as you can see here, I have brought a chart that is showing big data market size revenue forecast worldwide. This is the revenue forecast worldwide. As you can see, like we are in the year 2024, and its graph is increasing year by year. It's never going to decline. The reason being the size of data is increasing day by day. It's not going to decline actually. Okay, so of course we need someone who can manage these data, who can process these data, and that's where big data engineers come into picture. Now, of course,
I'm
before
sorry to
is
interrupt you. I can't see your
sorry,
screen right now. I can't see
is
your
it
screen
is it is
since the
is it
beginning.
not visible for everyone?
No, no, we can see that. So it's
Okay, so
visible.
I can't.
It's visible.
what you can do,
Pankaj,
you can rejoin.
rejoin.
Yes, yes,
Okay, let me regen first. Okay, all right.
yes, rejoin. Just let Pankaj rejoin and then we'll proceed further.
Let us know,
Okay,
Pankaj, if you can see.
Yes, I'm able to see. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
okay. So of course you are here to invest your time in this Azure Data Engineering. You are here to make your career in Azure Data Engineering, right? If you make your career successfully in this Azure Data Engineering, this Azure Data Engineering will become your bread and butter. So of course, before jumping into that, before investing so much time in learning that, and of course you'll be will when you jump into it, you will work for long years. So before jumping into that, you should know that what is the job market of this Azure Data Engineering. So I have taken one screenshot from Naukri.com portal. Okay. And this screenshot was taken just few days back, 5 days back. Okay. And I searched for Azure Data Engineer and you can see how many job openings are present there for this skill set. 94,228. I mean, it is the stat of 25th of May. Okay. If you want, you can go and check today's stat as well. You can simply go into this Naukri.com portal, and here like you can search for Azure Data Engineering. Like if you have 3, 4 skill sets in your mind that I should learn this technology, or I should go for this technology, or I should go for this technology, or I should go for this technology. Okay, you just directly come here and you start searching for that skill set, and you gauge once that what is the demand of that technology which you want to learn. Of course, the whole market is about, as you can see, like I search here, it is 91,000, it is showing. Okay. And as you know, the whole job market is about demand and supply, right? The whole job market is about demand and supply. The whole job market is about demand and supply, demand and supply, right? The whole job market is about demand and supply. There should be high demand. If there is any technology which has high demand, okay, high demand and low supply, what can be better than that? Okay, and this Azure Data Engineering falls in this category. This Azure Data Engineering, that is data engineering over cloud, falls on this category actually. Okay, there is very less supply in the market. I mean, less people are there who actually know this technology, but the demand is very much high. And this is the reason, this is one of the reason that Azure data engineers are getting highly paid, highly paid, highly paid tech. This Azure data engineering is one of the highly paid tech that is there in the market. Okay. Because its demand is high and supply is low. Very less people actually know this technology. I will tell you why. What was the reason? What is the reason that the supply is still less? Okay. We'll talk around that after some point of time, but just let me. So I just wanted to showcase you that if you want to gauge the demand of any skill set, what you need to do, you need to come here in Naukri.com and you need to search it here. Okay. You will be able to gauge because all the all HRs of the companies uh, post about the jobs which their companies has in this platform. So what can be better than this platform to gauge on jobs. Even if you frankly speak me, I rely more on Naukri.com rather than LinkedIn. Okay, because from LinkedIn people get very less calls, but here at this Naukri.com, the number of calls that people get is actually very high. Okay. Let's Before proceeding ahead, let me talk little bit about big data. Okay. So first of all, let me talk something about big data, and then we'll be talking about big data over Azure cloud. Big data over Azure cloud. Big data over Azure cloud. As you know, okay, as you know, the size of data is increasing day by day. Size of data is increasing day by day. Like earlier when Android mobiles came into picture, there were 2 GB of memory in that mobile. Then it became 4 GB, then it became 8 GB, then it became 16 GB. Now mobiles are coming with 64 GB memory, 128 GB memory. What is the reason for that? The simple reason is the data size is increasing day by day. We are clicking pictures wherever we are going. We are clicking pictures. We are creating reels. We are creating videos. Okay. The size of data is increasing day by day. Our interaction with social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all has increased a lot. We keep on seeing reels hours, right, before sleeping. After waking up, we keep on watching reels and all other stuffs. So it simply means that these are data. These are nothing but data, right? These are nothing but data. These data is increasing day by day. So of course, we need someone who can, we need someone, we need someone who can, who can manage this, who can manage these data that is getting generated, right? That is getting, that is getting generated. We need someone. So of course, the size of data is increasing day by day. Of course, its demand is going to increase day by day. It's not going to decline. I don't know. I'm not able to forecast since how many years it is not going to decline. But for now, whatever I can see, I can forecast that it is not going to decline because the screen size of people has increased. Okay, the mobile phones, the laptops has just become like the parts of human body. Humans can't live without these gadgets. Okay, so if they can't live without these gadgets, there is no chance that the size of this data will be decreasing. It will keep on increasing day by day. And where this is the place where data engineers come into picture. This is the place where data engineers come into picture. Okay, we need someone. This data is increasing day by day. This data is increasing day by day. So we need someone to manage. We need someone who can manage these data, and those people who manage these data are nothing but data engineers. Now, okay, so I'm talking about managing of these data. So the people who manage these data are nothing but data engineers. Now let's talk little bit about this big data. Okay, little bit about this big data. So if you talk little bit about big data, then here this diagram comes into picture. Okay, is of this is called 3 V's of big data. Okay, 3 V's of big data. The first one is 3 V's. Okay, the first V is velocity. The second V is volume. The third V is variety. Velocity simply means velocity, volume, and variety. Volume, and there comes into picture variety. Okay. Okay. So right now I was just talking that earlier mobile used to came having initially when Android phones were launched back in 2010 or 2011, mobile used to came with 2 GB memory, then 4 GB memory, and now it is of 64 GB memory, 128 GB memory. It simply means that that the memory size that the people need is increasing day by day, right? The speed at which the data is getting generated is increasing day by day. So earlier it used to be in GBs, okay? Earlier it used to be in GBs. Like now people is I mean we have hard drives in our laptop, but when the data size increases, people need extra hard drive to attach with our laptop, right? They attach 1 TB pen drive or 2 TB pen drive with it. Okay. When the data size surpasses TB, then comes petabytes. Okay, petabytes. So it simply means that the size of data is increasing drastically day by day. We need some storage location. The volume of data which is getting generated is is very high actually. Now, when it comes to velocity, it simply means that the speed at which the data is getting generated is very high. Like earlier, you used to click pictures. I mean, not on very regular interval, but with the invent of mobile phones, with the invent of technology, you are clicking pictures here and there every minute, right? Not every minute, but wherever you go, you click some pictures. So it simply means that the speed at which data is getting generated, okay, the speed at which data is getting generated is very high. Speed is very high. Its volume is getting very high. Like earlier, it used to be in GB, then TBs, then petabytes. Now, let's talk about the variety of data. So if we talk about the variety of data is also increasing day by day, right? I mean, there is a lot of variety of data that we have there in the market. So if we talk about few of the varieties of data, then if I take some example, then here comes into picture, images, videos, or in Excel file you store your data, right? In SQL database you store your data, right? In SQL database you store your data. In SQL database you store your data. Now tell me other formats of file. We have something called JSON. We have something called text, right? Like I am writing data in this text format. This is also a form of way of a storage of your data, right? This is also a way in which we store our data. So this is another form. This text is another form in which my data is getting stored. We have something called XML as well. Okay, we have something called XML as well. We have something called audio as well. We have audio data as well. It simply means the variety of data that is getting generated on daily basis is very high. Okay, is very high. If I move further on this variety of data, then basically there are three varieties of data that is available there in the market. The whole this set of data that I have written here has been divided into three major parts, and those three major parts are nothing but structured data, structured data, unstructured data, and there is something called semi-structured data, right? There is something called semi-structured data. Semi-structured data. So these three are different variety of data that is available in the market. I mean, these three are the major bifurcation of data. So if I talk about these varieties of data, okay, can someone tell me what all kinds of data comes under this? Okay, let's talk about this unstructured data. What in these list of data variety, which variety of data comes under the list of unstructured data? Can someone tell me? Can someone answer this? Do anyone want to try? No one wants to try? Okay. So the first kind of unstructured data that is present in this list is this images. Then we have something called videos. This is also one kind of unstructured data. Then we have something called this audio. This audio is also nothing, but this audio file also comes under the list of this unstructured data. Now let's talk about few structured data. Let's talk about few structured data which are present here in this list. So if I talk about the structured data, then this Excel file, okay, the data that we store in Excel file in tabular format comes under this structured data category. Now we have something called the SQL database. If we are storing our data in SQL database, then this also comes under the list of this structured data, right? Because the data is present there in tabular format. Okay. Now this is very confusing part, this semi-structured data. Okay. When I talk about this semi-structured data, then there are few kinds of data that comes under this semi-structured data, because the schema of this semi-structured data, the structure of this semi-structured data is not fixed. Okay, is not fixed, and the file types which comes under this semi-structured data is JSON, XML. Okay, we'll be dealing in these two kinds of data. I mean, we'll be seeing these two kinds of data in our classes, that how this JSON or XML data looks like, why it is not put into the category of a structured data, why it is semi-structured data. We will discuss all those things in our sessions. But for now, just understand that these two kinds of data, this JSON and XML, comes under the category of this semi-structured data. So these are three different, these are major bifurcation. These are major bifurcation of these three varieties of data. These are major bifurcation of varieties of data. Okay. So these are major bifurcation of varieties of data. This is one thing. And this thing, velocity, volume, and variety, these are three V's of big data. These are three V's of big data. These are three V's of big data. These are called three V's of big data. Okay. So big data simply means, when I'm using this term big data, then big data simply means that data which cannot be data whose size is very much high. Whose size is very much high. Big data simply means that, like terabyte or petabyte kind of size. Big data simply means that. Okay, I'm taking a very simple example. Okay, and with that, I'm trying to explain what actually big data is. Okay, a very simple example I'm taking. Okay, we have Excel with us, right? We can store our Excels in our laptop, right? Like this is one of the CSV file that I have. I mean, this is one of the CSV file that I have. Let me open this. And there is some data which is present in this file, right? There is some data which is present in this file. How many rows are there? The number of rows is around 1,86,000. Okay. 1,86,000 rows are present here in this CSV file. I'm able to store this data in this CSV file. Okay. I'm able to store this data in my laptop. If I want to do calculation over any of the columns, right? Like suppose in any of the columns, I want to do calculation. Like suppose this is one of the column. I want to do sum over this column and get the final result. Of course, I can apply the formula, right? In Excel, many kinds of formula are present, right? Is equal to sum, and we can give the range of this column and it will be calculated. So we are two things we are doing here. We are storing our data in our laptop, storing our data in CSV format in our laptop, storing our data in CSV format in our laptop. And this is the first thing that we are doing here. Okay. And the second thing that we are doing here is in this Excel, we can write the formula. Like I said, if I want to do sum of these all values which is present in this column, then we can We can sum the values as well, right? By using the formula sum. Okay. So this is nothing but calculation, or you can say processing. Okay. We are processing the data. We are doing calculation over data. Okay. We can process the data. Okay. It simply means we are doing calculation over data. Not only calculation, we can do cleaning operation as well. So I'll not be writing calculation here. So we can process the data as well. So there are basically two things. One is storing, okay? One is storage, and another thing is this process. Okay, let me write here. Let me remove it. I'll be just writing here storage, and another is processing. These are the two important things that are important to manage a data. The first thing is where we can store it. The second thing is how we can process it. These are the two important things. So tell me, if I have my laptop has 500 GB of hard disk, okay? And if I have a Excel file, if I have a data, okay? If I have a data having 1 TB size and I want to store that data in CSV file, can we do that? The clear answer is no. We cannot do that, right? We cannot do that. We cannot store data having 1 TB size in CSV file in our laptop. We cannot store that, okay? This tool, this Excel file is not capable of handling data of that much big size. This Excel file, Excel tool, this Excel tool is also a Microsoft product, right? Is not capable of handling data of very big size, right? So what if the data size increased to 1 PB? How will you handle that? Where will you store that? My laptop has only My laptop has only 500 GB of space, 500 GB space. My laptop has only 500 GB space, and I want to store and process 1 TB of data. Okay. I want to store and process 1 TB of data. Okay. How can I do that? I want to store and process 10 TB of data. How can I do that? I want to store and process 1 TB of petabyte of data. How can we do that? Can we do that? No, we cannot do that with the uses of simple tools and technologies. Okay. And I said, right, when the data size increases drastically like 1 TB, 1 PB, then comes big data into the picture. Okay. This heavy size of data is called big data. Okay. So we needed to learn tools and technologies who can manage this much big size of data. And and when we manage these tools and technologies, we needed to learn some tools and technologies which can manage this much huge size of data. And there comes big data into picture. And one of the tool which can manage this uh, big data is this Azure cloud. Okay, in Azure cloud many services are present which are used for handling this 1 peta size of data. We'll be talking about that in after some time. But for now, let me just kick it off that to manage the big data of size 1 TB or 1 PB or even more than that, we need some tools and technologies because this 1 PB size of data can neither be stored in my laptop, and if I'm not able to store it in my laptop, how will I be able to process it? I won't be able to do any of these things. And there comes some tools and technologies which can process this, which can store this big data of size 1 PB, 10 PB, as well as which can process this data of very heavy size. Okay, and there comes this Azure cloud into picture. Am I making sense? Are you getting the point? What I'm trying to convey? Okay, no one wants to speak.
Yes, yes, we are getting it.
Okay,
Yes.
getting great, great. Okay, so I hope that this term big data is clear to you. That what is this big data? Okay, and what is the role of this data engineer? this thing is also clear to you. Okay, big data simply means data of very heavy size which cannot be handled by normal computers that we have. This is the one thing. Data engineers are the person who handles this big data from both point of view, storage as well as processing. That where we can store that data, how efficiently we can store that big data, and how efficiently we can process that. This is the role of role of data engineers. Now, I'm going to talk about this Azure cloud, which is a technology, which is a which is a cloud platform. Okay, which is a cloud platform to handle this big data from both point of view, storage as well as processing. I will talk about that. But before moving deep dive into big data over Azure cloud, I want to talk something specifically about this Azure cloud. Okay, then we'll be going towards big data over Azure cloud or data Azure data engineering. Big data over Azure cloud or Azure data engineering, whatever you say. Azure data engineering simply means data engineering over Azure. And this big data over Azure cloud also means the same thing like Azure data engineering. Data engineering, I mean handling big data over Azure cloud. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, so now let's start talking about this Azure cloud. Okay, let's start talking about this, not specifically Azure cloud. I'm going to talk about this cloud platform. So basically, there are there are many cloud platforms that are available there in market. But if we talk majorly, okay, if we talk majorly, there are three major cloud platforms that are being used at enterprise level. The first one is, of course, this is Azure, or you can say Microsoft Azure. This is Microsoft product, right? Many of you might be aware of this. This is nothing but Microsoft product. Then we have something called AWS, that is Amazon Web Service. This is nothing but Amazon product, right? Amazon product. Amazon Web Service. This is nothing but Amazon product. Then we have something called GCP, that is Google Cloud Platform. This is Google product. This is this is Google product, right? This is Google product. This is Google product. So these are three major cloud platforms that are available in market. There are other cloud platforms as well, like other competitors are also there. Like we have cloud platform for Oracle as well. There are many other companies which offer cloud platforms, but these are some of the major cloud platforms that are available there in the market. Just allow me 1 minute. Just my mobile battery is going to shut down. Just 1 minute. Okay. ये गौतम, ये थोड़ा सा मेरा मोबाइल वो डिस्चार्ज होने वाला है, इसको सही कर दो। नहीं इसको चार्ज पे लगाओ, इससे नहीं होगा। वीडियो नहीं करोगे? नहीं नहीं हो पाएगा। उसके बाद देना थोड़ा देर बाद। Okay. Okay, sorry, my mobile was going to be turned off. That's why I turned off my camera. Okay, so let's proceed further. Again, I will turn on camera after some time once the mobile is charged. Okay, so there are these three kinds of major cloud platforms that are available in market. Okay, and first of all, when I'm talking about these are the three major cloud platforms, then first of all, let's understand what is this cloud platform. I'm taking very simple example. Okay. I'm taking very simple example. We have, let's talk around storage. We can store our data in our laptop, right? We can store it. Okay. My laptop has capacity to store 512 GB of data. My laptop has this much space in my, in my hard drive. Okay. What if this data size increases? As I said, suppose the data size increases to 1 TB. Now, how will I be storing that? Okay, where will I be storing that? What I will be doing? My laptop has 512 GB of space. I have 1 TB of data that I want to store. So what I will do? Okay, I will go to market. I will go to market and I will buy another hard drive, right? To store data. I will buy another hard drive, right? I will buy another hard drive to store that data. Okay. And I will connect to my laptop and I will store that. This can be one way. What can be another way? The another way can be, the another way can be, the another way can be, this is one way. The another way can be, the another way can be, I can rent, I can rent that, I can rent storage location with some company, okay? With some company and store our 1 TB data. Okay. We can rent, we can take the storage location in rent from any company and I can store that data. And this rental storage location is nothing but cloud. Okay. Like simply we have, if we go here in in this Google, okay. And if I come here and if I look into this Google Drive, right? This has nothing to do with my local storage location, right? I can store my data of some size here, right? I mean, I can store my data. I can store my videos, images, anything I can store in of some size in this Google Drive, right? This is one kind of cloud location only, right? This Google Drive is one kind of cloud location only. Like for free subscription, okay? For free subscription, some space has been given, right? But if you want to store very large amount of data, then you need to pay for that to Google Drive as well. Okay. So Google Drive is nothing but a kind of cloud platform only. It simply means that, of course, if we are storing something in Google Drive, there must be machines, there must be storage location, there must be servers on which my data is getting stored, right? So those servers are present with Google. We are just registering ourselves in Google's account and we are storing our data in that Google Drive. This simply means that, okay, we are storing our data in Google Drive. Similarly, this Google Drive is an example of cloud platform. You use Wink Music, right? You use Wink Music to listen the songs. Okay. Earlier, what we used to do, we used to download the songs in our mobile phone. Okay. Those songs used to be in our laptop. But when Wink Music came into picture, now what happened? Now music is present at their location in on the servers of Wink Music only. We are just connecting to that server through internet and we are listening the song that has been stored there. Getting the point? It simply means that now we don't have to do anything with our local system or local device. It simply means that our data is stored at any vendor's location, like in the location in the server of Wink Music or in the server of Google. Our data is stored there. We are going there at that location and we are accessing the data that we require. Okay. So this is a kind of, these two are nothing. This Google Drive is a kind of cloud platform. Wink is also made on cloud only because the songs that we listen is not stored in our laptop. That is stored somewhere else at Wink Music server, and we are accessing those songs from internet. Okay. So similarly, we use many softwares in our laptop, right? We use many softwares in our laptop. Like we use many softwares in our laptop, right? For storage, of course, we use hard drive, like we are storing our data in this hard drive. But what if we store our data in Azure cloud? So there is something called Azure Data Lake. Okay, Azure Data Lake. This is the storage location. Okay, this is the storage location. Okay, this is the storage location over Azure cloud. I mean, in this platform, in this service, we can store our data. Okay, there are many services. I mean, there are many softwares that are present over cloud. It simply means that we need not to install those softwares in our laptop. Okay, in our laptop, we don't have to do anything with what is the configuration of my laptop. Okay, I'm taking a very simple example. Suppose there is a software, okay, and the name of software is suppose XYZ. Okay, the name of software is suppose we want to install any software and the name of software is XYZ. And this XYZ software needs some specific configuration to get installed in my system. Okay. Suppose it needs 16 GB of RAM and 16 GB of RAM and Windows Windows 11. Okay. It needs 16 GB of RAM, Windows 11 to be present in my system to get installed. But my laptop, okay, but my laptop has only 18 GB of RAM. How will I be able to install it? Okay. How will I be able to install it? My laptop has only 8 GB of RAM. How will I be able to install it? Will I be able to install it? The clear cut answer for this is no. We won't be able to install it. Okay, because it needs 16 GB of RAM. So of course, there are two ways, I mean, that I just discussed above, that either I can go to the market and buy one more 8 GB of RAM and make it 16 GB. Okay. That will cost me high because I'm going to buy 8 GB of RAM. The other approach is the other approach is what I will do. I will go to Azure Cloud. Okay, I will go to Azure Cloud and I will tell Azure Cloud that I need a computer. I need a computer having I need a computer having 16 GB RAM. Okay, having 16 GB RAM. I need a computer having 60 GB RAM and plus Windows 11 installed on it. Okay, install on it plus Windows 11 installed on it. And Microsoft will prepare one computer for me having this configuration, and after preparing, Microsoft will give that computer to me. Microsoft will give that computer to me, and once I get that computer, I will install my software XYZ on that computer and I can use that. Okay. And you see, for configuring this computer, I mean, for configuring this computer, uh, Azure has nothing to do with my laptop. Okay. We can access this computer just by a URL. Okay, we can access this computer just by URL. Like this Google Drive is there, right? This Google Drive is there. It need not to be installed in our machine, right? We can easily click here and it will open in our web. I mean, in our browser, right? It will easily open in our browser. We don't have to do anything with the configuration of our laptop. Similarly, there is cloud. Now we need to install the software XYZ in my laptop, but my laptop has only 8 GB of RAM and it needs 16 GB memory and Windows 11. So how will we be able to install? We won't be able to install. So what I will do, I will go to Azure Cloud and I will ask Microsoft to give me a computer having 16 GB RAM and Windows 11. And now I can install software XYZ on this server. Software XYZ on XYZ on this server. Okay, software XYZ on this server. Now I can install software XYZ on this server. it has nothing to do with what is the configuration of my laptop. Okay. So it simply means that. So a cloud platform has many kind of services. Like let me show you once like how this Azure cloud platform looks like. Okay. So this is how like this cloud platforms looks like. So we can access this with URL and you can access it with URL. This is how it looks like. Okay. And in this cloud platform, there are many services available. Many when I'm talking about services, you can think of each service as a software. There are many services available, more than 100 services. 100 services are available in Azure Cloud. Okay, Azure Cloud on Azure Cloud we have more than 100 services available. And when I'm talking about services, then you can think of it as a software. Okay, more than 100 softwares are available. I mean, in layman terms, I'm telling. You can think of it as software. More than 100 softwares are available. If you want to use any of the software, you don't need to install that software in your local computer. Okay, you can just access by URL. Like you can see, this is one of the software. When I'm clicking it, you see it is opening. Okay, it is opening here. You see, I have not installed anything. I have not installed this software in my laptop, but when I'm clicking, it is opening, right? You see, it is opening. This is you can think of it as a software. Okay, I'm just talking in layman terms to make you understand. This is one of the software. It has nothing to do with what is there in my local computer. Just we can access it via a URL. Okay, we are opening it by via URL only. Okay. So there are more than 100 services that are available in Azure Cloud. This Azure Data Lake is one of the service which is used for storage point of view. Then we have something called Azure Databricks. Then we have something called Azure Databricks. This is used for processing purpose, processing of big data. We have something for we have something as Azure Data Factory. Data Factory. This is ETL/orchestration tool. ETL tool, you can think of it in simple terms. ETL tool, extract, transform, and load tool. We have something called Azure Key Vault, which is used for storing secrets. Storing secrets. We have something called Azure Logic App. This is used for automating some of the activities. Activities. Azure Logic App. We have something called Azure SQL Database. This is the SQL database present over Azure Cloud. Like we have SQL present in our, I mean, we can install SQL in our local system, right? Like you see, as you can see, I'm opening a database that is installed in my local computer. So this is one of the database that is present in my local computer. Now this kind of database can be present over Azure Cloud as well. Okay, as you can see, like this database is present in Azure Cloud as well. Let me show you. Let me open it. This is one of the database which is present in Azure Cloud. If you want, you can log in into this. Let me show you the tables after logging into this SQL database, that how it looks like. So the difference between this SQL database, which I'm opening just right now, and this database is that this database is installed in my computer. But this database, which is just opened in front of you, is not installed in my computer. It is present over cloud platform, over Azure Cloud. So now it has no dependency for with my local laptop. Okay, it has no dependency with my local laptop. We can access this database with just by accessing this URL, whatever is present above. Okay, but for installing this database, okay, it suppose it needs 4 GB of RAM. There should be 4 GB of RAM in my laptop. If it is not present, then I won't be able to install this database. I will have to go to market and buy extra hardwares to install this software in my laptop. Okay. You see, this is database, Azure SQL database, which is present over Azure Cloud. Okay. So we have this Azure SQL database here into picture, and so we have these more than 100 services. These are few services that are relevant to big data. There are other services as well, like we have Azure Web App. For hosting web application, we use this Azure Web App, but we don't need it because this is for hosting web application, hosting websites, right? For hosting web applications, or you can say websites. Okay. But there are many other services also, like we have something called Azure ML Studio as well. Okay. Azure ML Studio also. This is used by data scientists to train their machine learning models. Azure ML Studio. This is used by data scientists for training machine learning models, for training machine learning models. This Azure ML Studio is used by data scientists for training machine learning models. So there are many services. As I said, there are more than 100 services, and these are services that are used by data engineers. This service is used by web developers. This service is used by data scientists. So there are more than 100 services. The purpose of each and every service is very different. From data engineering point of view, we need to learn only these services. I hope that this is making sense to you. Okay. Okay. So these are few things that I wanted to highlight. Now I think that you are clear with what cloud platform is. Now I gave you the list that these are the services that are relevant for from data engineering point of view. And there are many other services as well. More than 100 services are available, but you don't need to learn that. You just need to focus on services that are relevant for data engineering. Now I want to talk something about this Spark. Okay, Spark. Okay, I want to talk something about Spark. Okay, before moving into Spark, I was talking around this Azure Data Engineering. Okay, Azure Data Engineering. Azure Data Engineering. So when you mix data engineering over Azure Cloud, it simply means when you do data engineering over Azure Cloud, then we call it as Azure Data Engineering. When we do data engineering, okay, engineering over Azure Cloud, okay, over Azure Cloud, then we call it as Azure Data Engineering or Big Data over Azure Cloud. Okay, I hope that this is making sense to you. Or Big Data over Azure Cloud. Now you see, I was talking about two important things. I was talking about storage and processing. Right? These are the two important things that data engineers do. How do we store the data? How do we process the data? Then for storage, we have something called, I already mentioned, we have something called Azure Data Lake. And for processing, we have another service, or you can say software, which is Azure Databricks. This Azure Data Factory can also be used for processing. Okay. So this Azure Data Factory will be can be used for processing purpose as well. Okay. In this storage, we have Azure Data Lake. We have Azure Database also, which is a storage unit. Okay. Which is a storage unit. This is also a kind of storage. This Azure SQL database is also a kind of a storage unit. So let me keep it here all as well. Azure Data Lake for my storage. Okay. And the other services are some of the auxiliary services. Like these two are some of the auxiliary service that is needed by data engineers that we will deep dive into our section later later discussion time. For right now, just understand that this keyboard is used for storing secret and logic app is used for automating some of the activities. So now I hope that this is making sense to you that what this data engineering is. Okay. Data engineering, I told you, right, that there are three cloud platforms, right? Azure, AWS, GCP. So this data engineering can be done over AWS as well. Data engineering can be done at GCP as well. But when you do data engineering over Azure cloud, then we call it as Azure Data Engineering. I hope that this is making sense to you. Now, let me quickly talk about something called Spark. Okay. Let me talk quickly something about Spark. This is very vast topic, but I will just bring it in front of you to make you understand that what actually Spark is. There are many sessions that goes in Spark, but for right now, I will keep it very simple and I will just give you brief about this Spark. So I'm giving a disclaimer. You might have heard this term in before that Spark, Spark, Spark. So you might be thinking that what is this Spark? Okay. So before starting this Spark, I'm giving a disclaimer that this is not a programming language. Okay. If you're thinking that this is a programming language, then no, you are wrong. This is not a programming language. Okay. A Spark is a compute engine. Okay. Is a compute engine. This is a compute engine. And when I'm talking about compute engine, then what is this compute engine? Again, we will talk in some time. Spark is not a programming language. It is a compute engine. Okay. It is a compute engine. Now, when I'm talking about compute engine, then what is this compute engine? Okay. I told you, right, that we are storing our data into this Excel. Okay. Okay, I can process the data. I can, if I want to do some of all these values which are present in this column, I can simply use some formula. I can simply use this sum formula and do that operation. But what if the size of data is 1 TB? How will I be able to process that in Excel? We will not be able to process that in Excel. This Excel is not capable for handling that much big size of data. Okay. I told you, right, that my laptop has 512 GB storage. Neither I will be able to store nor I will be able to process. Okay, I won't be able to do anything. Or let's say, let's make it 2 TB. Okay, let's make it 2 TB. We have 2 terabyte of data, and this is the space present in my laptop. Okay, so how will I be able to process it? I won't be able to process it. Neither I will be able to process it nor I will be able to save it. So what we can do? What we can do? Can we arrange 4 computers? Okay, let's arrange 4 computers having 512 GB of storage size on each computer. On each computer. Okay, let's arrange 4 computers having 512 GB of storage size on each computer. 512 GB of storage size on each computer. Okay. And now, after arranging 4 computers, we had this 2 TB of data, right? Let's break this 2 TB of data into 4 parts. Okay. Let's break this 2 TB of data into 4 parts and store 4 parts having each part. Each part has size of 512 GB. If I will break 2 terabyte into 4 parts, then each part will be having 512 GB of space. And if I have now 512 GB of space, then I can store that in 4 computers, right? 4 computers. Okay, I'm taking a very ideal situation also, although this is not possible because 512 GB of data we are storing in computer having hard drive of 512 GB of space. So it is not possible. I mean, but I'm taking an ideal situation that you have 512 GB of, you have 4 computers and each computer has 512 GB of hard drive size and you have to store data of 2 TB. Then let's break this data into 4 parts and store each 512 GB in each computer. Like we had 4 computers, right? Having 512 GB of space. So we can store each part into each computer, right? So you see, we divided a very large size of data into small parts, okay? Into small parts. This is the one thing. This is one thing, and this is called nothing but distributed storage, okay? Distributed storage. And this kind of chunking, breaking down of data into multiple parts is basically done in this storage unit, which is this Azure Data Lake, okay? Your large size of data is broken down into smaller units and it is stored in your Azure Data Lake. Now the data is stored. Now, when it comes to processing, okay, of course, I said that this Excel will is not capable of processing very large size of data. Okay, so how will we be able to process this 2 TB of data? Okay, so then for this processing of very big size of data, there comes a Spark into picture. Okay, there comes a Spark into picture, and on this Spark, like this 2 TB of data was divided into 512 GB, 512 GB, 512 GB, 512 GB. That is 4 parts. Now each part, okay, each part will be, we have 4 parts of file, right? We have 4 parts of file and we have 4 computers, okay? We have 4 computers. Each part is having 512 GB of space, okay? Each part is having 512 GB of space size. Now each part will go to each of the computer and each part will be processed simultaneously on these 4 computers, and this is how your data will be processed. Okay, over multiple computers at the same time. And this is called nothing but distributed processing. Distributed processing. And this is what Spark is. Okay, Spark is a compute engine that does distributed processing. And as I said, for processing, we have something called Azure Databricks. Okay, we have Azure Databricks, and behind this Azure Databricks, actually, Spark runs. When we do processing, data processing over Azure Databricks, it does processing over Spark. Okay, it does processing behind the scenes over Spark, and hence I said that Spark is a compute engine. I gave one statement, right? Spark is a compute engine in which multiple computers are connected in parallel to process your data. Multiple computers are connected in parallel to process your data. I told you, right, that Spark is not a language, it is a compute engine. In this compute engine, Spark is not a language, it is a compute engine. Spark is a compute engine in which multiple computers are connected in parallel to process your data. In Spark, actually, multiple computers are present. Like here, we had 4 computers, right? Similarly, in Spark, you can think of the same configuration. Like multiple computers are connected in parallel. Okay. When you have data of very heavy size, like 2 TB data, okay, it will be broken down into 512 GB into four parts, and it will be distributed across 4 computers to process the data. Okay, since one computer is not capable of processing this much data, this 2 TB size of data, so it will be broken down into 4 parts and then it will be distributed across 4 computers. I'm just giving here and taking here 4 computers. It may increase or decrease as well. Okay, that we'll talk more when we'll go more in depth in Spark architecture. But for now, understand that your heavy data is broken into multiple parts, and when after breaking down into multiple parts, these files are distributed across multiple clusters. Here I have taken 4 computers, and on these 4 computers, these data are processed. Since one computer was not capable of processing, one computer was not capable of processing 2 TB of data. So we connected 4 computers in parallel, and on those 4 computers, we started processing our data. I hope that this is making sense to you. And this setup, 4 computers in we connect the computers in parallel. Okay. And this setup, okay, this setup is nothing but a Spark. When computers are connected in parallel to process your data, that's what I have written. Spark is a computer engine in which multiple computers are connected in parallel to process your data. So when we have this kind of setup, when computers are connected in parallel to process your data, then we call it as Spark. I hope that this is making sense to you. You are understanding what I'm trying to convey. Okay. And for data processing, we have this service, Azure Databricks, and data processing can be done through in Azure Databricks, data processing is done through Spark. Okay. We have Azure Data Factory also. Here also data processing is done through Spark. Okay. Azure Data Factory. Here also data processing is done through Spark. Okay. So this is about the major tools and technologies that we'll be using in learning big data over Azure Cloud. If I talk about some prerequisite, then SQL and Python are 2 things that are needed. Okay. SQL is mandatory. Without this, you can't proceed. This is very much mandatory. Without this, you can't proceed. And then comes this Python into picture. Okay. This is optional, but if you know, you will always have an edge. If you know Python, okay, know Python, you will always have an edge from other candidates. Okay. Also, if you know Python, the calls rate you will be getting will be very high when you don't know as compared to when you don't know Python. Okay. So this is SQL. This is Python. This SQL is mandatory for moving ahead. Without SQL, you can't get into the data domain. Either it is data analyst, data scientist, data engineers, any domain. SQL is the heart and soul of data engineering. Okay. You need to know SQL. And then we have this Python. If you know Python, you will always have an extra S. Now, when I talk about like where these 2 things are used, SQL and Python, so I have written down here few things, right? So this is Databricks over which Python and SQL is used. Okay. In Data Factory, we use SQL. Okay. We use SQL. In SQL database, we use SQL. We use SQL. So these are few places where SQL is used. Okay. So these are some of the places where SQL is used, and I told you, right? Where it's gone. Yes, SQL is mandatory, and Python, if you know it, you will always have an extra edge. Okay, you might be listening many other languages also, like Scala, Java. Okay, many other things are also there in the market, right? Scala, Java, R. Don't go for any of this. for any of this. You don't have to think about these things. Python is the game changer. Okay. Earlier, people used to do big data over Scala or Java, but now no one is doing. Even if it has been done somewhere, people are migrating to Python language, whatever code they have written in Scala, okay, or Java. Okay, so you don't have to think about all these things. You just have to learn one language. Okay. Now let's talk about the CTC part. Okay, how much this data engineers are getting. Okay, as I said, this is very booming technology in the market. There is very less people actually who know this technology. Why? Because this Azure is a paid platform. This cloud platform is a paid platform. Okay, this is a paid platform. People are not able to learn this technology. Only those lucky people who got chance to work in this technology could learn this. So here we have a hack. Okay, with one credit card, you can run Azure portal for 1 month. Okay, with one credit card, you can run a credit card or debit card. You can run Azure portal with for 1 month. Okay. So here our this program will be running for 3 to 4 months. Okay. 3 to 4 months you'll be needing three to four 3 to 4 credit card or CC or debit card. Okay. For accessing this portal, and this program. Okay. Now let's come to this CTC part. People are getting very good CTC in this because, as I said, this is a paid platform. This is your cloud. So there are not very much people in the market who know actually this technology. And I gave you one hack, like how can you do it free, right? You have to use your credit card, debit card. With one credit card, you can you can use it for 1 month. So you'll be needing 3 or 4 credit card or debit card to access this for 3 to 4 months. Now, when it comes to CTC part, I mean, people are very easily getting 100% hike, even more than that. Okay. It really depends upon what the previous CTC of candidate is. Like if the CTC of candidate is suppose 15 LPA, then they are easily reaching to 25 LPA, 30 LPA. Okay. 25 LPA, 30 LPA. Okay. This much is the jump that people are getting. If someone has 20 LPA, they are easily getting 30 to 35 LPA. This much package they are getting. Okay. If someone has 7 LPA package, they are easily getting 16 LPA or 17 LPA package. So somewhere it is more than 100% jump. You see here it is more than 100% jump. Somewhere it is 70-80% jump. Somewhere it is 75% jump. Okay. So it really depends like what your previous CTC is. So this much CTC 30, 35, 40 has become very normal for become Azure Data Engineering. There are other way also, like if there are other way also, like if you have 7 LPA package and suppose you received one offer, you have 3 months notice period. Okay. You have 3 months notice period. You received one offer, and after the first offer that you received is of 15 LPA, and then you have not stopped giving interview, and you again giving interview. The other company is offering you 18 LPA. Then you are getting another offer of 21 LPA. So from 7 LPA, people are directly jumping to 21 LPA by just uh, bargaining to the other companies, bargaining with other companies. Okay. So sometimes it even crosses 200, 300%. Okay. So this is how like people are getting jumps. So this was regarding the CTC part. Now let's talk about that how this program will work actually. Okay. So this program, I'll be giving you 3 to 4 videos per week. Okay. Per week. I'll be giving you 3 to 4 videos per week in our platform. And on Saturday, we'll be meeting from 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. to discuss with you any doubt that you faced in those videos and to discuss some of the important points. Okay. So these 2 days we'll be meeting in on Saturday and Sunday. And meanwhile, in the week, I'll be providing you 3, 4 videos per week so that you can watch the videos as per your comfortability. And you come on Saturday, Sunday and discuss your doubts, whatever you have. In this fashion, what will happen actually, you'll be busy learning whole week, whatever material I'm providing to you. Okay. And after learning, you will be again coming to Saturday and Sunday. You can ask any doubt that you have. So you'll be packed whole week with this Azure Data Engineering program. And as you know, like this software engineering is all about practice. Okay. The more practice you will do, the more you will learn. Okay. And that's why I'll be launching these 3, 4 videos per week. You watch those videos, you replicate those things that I'm teaching in class. That I'm teaching in those videos, then come on Saturday and Sunday and you start discussing your doubts, whatever you have. This is how we will proceed, and this is how we will train you on this Azure Data Engineering, and we will guide you how you have to prepare your resume, how you have to upload your resume in Naukri.com to get the maximum number of calls. We will provide all those kind of guidance in our program. Okay. And total around 3 to 4 months this program will be running. Around 3 to 4 months your program will be running. And 3 to 4 months your program will be running. And this is how this program will be proceeding ahead. Let me quickly open my PPT and let me take you through PPT that let's see whether I have missed anything or not. Yes, okay. Okay, so I'm done from mine. If you have any question, the forum is open. You can ask your doubts, clear it. If anyone has any question.
Hi,
Can you,
sir. And,
hi, who is this?
yeah, I'm Venkat Kotredi. Yeah.
Okay, hi, okay. Hi.
Uh, After completing this course, did you get any certificate?
Yes,
Uh,
yes. We'll provide you certificate. Like
uh, and
we'll
what about
provide.
the placement assistance? And
Yes, we'll be guiding you how can you make your resume and how you have to upload your resume in Naukri.com. Okay, this is the certificate that you will be receiving.
okay. And one more dot, to access the Azure portal, we need to use
Hmm.
credit card. For
Yes, yes,
example,
yes.
for one credit card, it have a 1 month validity.
Mhm.
In case we are doing one project in middle or complete of 1 month, our validity is gone. So for example, you are doing one project. When I
Mhm.
am used another credit card, I need to log in for another account. Within the same account, I
No,
can
no,
renew
within the
new
same
credit card.
account. No, no, you can't renew. If you want to renew, you will have to go for paid subscription.
Okay, I need to create another new account.
Yes, yes, yes. You need to create another new account. But one thing is there, like you said that you are building one project and you are using now another Azure subscription, then how you'll be moving that? So there are some ways actually
Mm,
in which it can be done. Like suppose we have some pipeline here, right?
mm,
Like suppose I am opening my Azure portal and
mm,
I'm opening. I have paid subscription with me. Okay. So I keep on teaching students like you. So I have paid subscription. So when I come here and suppose this is my ADF and Azure Data Factory. Since you asked this question, it seems that you are aware of this platform. So let me open Azure Data Factory in front of you. So if you start using another, if
mm,
suppose this your Azure portal expires, okay. So there are
mm,
two ways. Either you can go for paid subscription, but I don't suggest to students to go for paid subscription because in that you will be charged. Okay, why to waste your
mm,
money? Just take another free subscription and work on that. So suppose you are building this pipeline, any of the pipeline, okay,
mm,
and
mm,
suppose suppose this is the pipeline that you have building. Let me open up any pipeline. Okay. Suppose this is the pipeline that you have built. Okay. And you want to move this pipeline in your new Azure Data Factory. So what you have to do, there is something called JSON code here. Okay. This code. Seeing this code, you just copy this code. You copy this code and move that in your new Azure Data Factory. And there are few things that you will need to change that I will tell you when you will be doing that. Okay. Already, I mean, in the video that I will be sharing, I have explained how can you move your pipeline from one data factory to another data factory. Okay. So once you move this code, your whole pipeline will be copied. You need to change few things in that scenario. That will be, I mean, when the time will come, I will help you with that.
Thank you. And one more
Got the
doubt,
point?
like,
Yes.
yeah, like what the major difference between the PySpark and yeah, mostly use the PySpark and Python here?
Right.
Can you please
Right,
correct?
right. Yes, 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 yes. Very good question. PySpark versus Python, right? PySpark versus Python. Python is a programming language. Uh, programming, programming language,
Yes.
right? Like Java, C++.
Yes,
PySpark
yes.
is Python APIs which Spark can understand. Okay. These are Python APIs which Spark can understand. PySpark is Python APIs which Spark can understand. As I said, Spark is a compute engine, right? Spark is a
Yes, yes.
compute engine. Spark is nothing but a compute engine, right? Compute engine means where multiple computers are connected in parallel to process your data. Making sense? Getting the point? This is not a
Yes, yes.
programming language. So this is a compute engine. So to interact with it, there are some code that is written in Python and that is called as PySpark. To interact with this Spark compute engine, there are some code that is written in Python and that is called PySpark. That is Python APIs of Spark. Python APIs that Spark can understand. Getting the point? Understanding.
Yes, yes, understand.
Very good question. Very, 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 very nice question.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, is this clear? Making sense?
Yes, yes.
So Python is the set and PySpark is subset of that. You can think of it like that. Okay.
Yeah, yes, sir.
PySpark, you can think of it as a subset of that.
Yeah.
If this is a set, then this is a subset of Python, like APIs of Python that Spark can understand. That is built specifically for Spark.
Yes, yes, thank you.
Yeah, Arun, this is Dipankar.
Yeah, hi Dipankar.
What all things we will be covering in Azure
Yes,
DevOps?
Yes.
For DevOps
So
side to push the code.
Azure DevOps, I'll be showing you the deployment process. Okay. Let me
Yeah.
open the syllabus. I didn't open the syllabus in front of you. Okay. Okay. So this is the whole syllabus which we'll be covering as part of this program. Okay. Before moving ahead, I want to tell you one very important thing. This Azure Databricks, which I have listed down here, okay, is a technology very high demand. बहुत ही very high demand technology. This is this Azure Databricks. Okay, I keep on. I mean, I have my friends in US, UK, and they keep on saying that. I mean, there is very high demand for this Azure Databricks. Okay, okay, we'll be talking around that in our sessions, but let me show you what all topics we'll be covering. Okay, so we'll be talking around this ETL concepts that we'll be talking about many data warehouse concept, lake house concept. We'll be talking about what is difference between database, data warehouse, lake house, OLAP, OLTP system, fact table, dimension table. We'll be talking about star schema versus snowflake schema. See, whatever I'll be teaching, when you will sit on interview, 70-80% of the questions will be coming from what I'll be teaching. This is from my experience of 5-6 years in this domain and the candidates which we have successfully transitioned. So with the experience of those people, okay, I keep on telling that what all things are necessary for interview. So when I tell that this is important, you have to keep more focus on that. Okay. Now we have this Spark. In this Spark, we'll be talking about architecture of Spark, job stages, task, PySpark concept, SQL, Spark SQL concept, transformation and action, lineage. Many topics are there. You can see. I mean, it will take a lot of time. I mean, you might be having the syllabus. Now we have this. We'll be covering this Azure Databricks. Okay. In Azure Databricks, we have these things. There is something called delta tables. Okay. Delta table in Azure Databricks, that is also one of the very important things. Many questions in interviews are asked around this delta tables and a very detailed discussion has been done around delta table in my classes. We'll be talking about data lake. These are the things that we'll be discussing in data lake. Then we'll be talking around data factory. Azure Data Factory. These are the things that we'll be discussing around data factory. Then we have Key Vault. We'll be talking about Key Vault. We have Logic App. We have Azure SQL Server. Few software installations we'll be seeing. And deployment. So we'll be seeing how we can deploy Databricks and Data Factory pipeline using Azure DevOps. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Through Azure DevOps, how we can see how we can deploy Azure Databricks and Azure Data Factory pipelines. You don't need to go into how that Azure DevOps pipeline is built. Okay, those are the job of DevOps engineer. You need to know what is the process of deployment. Getting the point,
Okay.
understanding.
Yeah. Just the process.
Yes, you need to know the process because that is job of DevOps
DevOps. Yeah.
engineers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where can I find this PDF?
You can connect with team or you are in WhatsApp group, right? It has been
Yes.
shared
Yes.
in that or it will be shared after this session also. You can download from there.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Do anyone has anything else to ask? You can ask whatever is coming in your mind. You can speak.
Sir, this
Yes.
is Piyush. Actually, I'm not from an IT background. I'm from sales background.
Okay.
So currently with
Yes,
your
please.
form D,
Yes. I know your case.
yeah. So sir, the thing is that I'm doing Python from Dinesh sir,
Mhm, mhm.
your colleague, right?
Right.
So I don't know anything about SQL. So you have
Don't
already
worry.
told us in this.
We'll talk around that offline.
Okay.
We'll provide you help. Don't worry around that.
Okay. Thank you.
हाय सर दिस साइड मनीष हियर जस्ट
Yeah. Hi,
वांटेड टू नो
Manish.
सर कि मतलब इसमें हम आर वी डूइंग एनी प्रोजेक्ट काइंड ऑफ समथिंग इन दिस
Yes.
प्रोजेक्ट
Of course, we'll be doing project during. I mean, I said told right. That whatever pipelines I'll be creating in classes, you have to replicate. Okay. I'll be releasing videos and also what was those videos, and you have to replicate those things in your personal laptop as well. And on Saturday, Sunday, we'll be discussing more around that.
और and sir, ये था कि can we add that whatever the project in our CV also, sir, or just
Yes, yes, you can have those projects in your CV. You can have.
thank you, sir.
Whatever will be teaching, it will be industry level. Okay, so don't worry. And another thing is, I mean, this is technology, right? I mean, it's just a
Yes.
mathematical problem. You will get new mathematical problem. It will not be possible for us to solve all problems, right? We will build your base. Okay, we'll build your base, and from there you can pick up. You can start thinking whenever new problem comes in front of you. You can start thinking and find the solution. Okay, this is just like mathematics. When you learn the concepts, you learn the basics, then problems comes in front of you and you start solving those problems by learning those basics. Getting the point?
Yes.
So we'll be doing hands-on project, whatever is possible. Otherwise, there is no end in science. There is science behind science. When you solve one problem,
Yeah,
there
yeah,
will another problem will be coming in front of you. Okay,
yeah,
and no
yeah,
one
sir.
will be able to
Yeah.
help you. You have to think around that solution, but we'll make you that much ready that you understand the whole system, whole thing, that what is happening, how things are happening.
Sure.
Yes, Arun, this is Pankaj.
Yeah, hi
Just
Pankaj.
wanted to just wanted to ask you that after learning the Azure,
Mhm.
anybody can move on to the edge, AWS as well as the GCP too.
Yes, yes, all platforms are simple, but let me tell you, you don't need to. Okay, you don't need to. I'm telling you why. Okay. See, this technology is itself quite new. I mean, it has started picking up since around year 2020, or you can say 2021. Okay. Like you can think of it as 2020. So it has been hardly 3.5 or 4 years. Okay. That it started picking up. If I mean this Azure Data Engineering, okay, with this Azure Data Engineering, you can easily, I mean, as I can believe, you can easily, I mean, continue 10-15 years of your career with only this skill set, with data engineering over Azure cloud. Data engineering is never going to end. Azure is a Microsoft product, like we use Office 365 Teams. Do you think there is any competitor that is going to remove those things? Right now, there is no one, right? This is Microsoft product. Companies are going to trust more on this. Okay. This AWS is also there. GCP is also there. Okay. This AWS came first in the market. This was the first cloud platform out of these three major cloud platforms. AWS was first, then came this Azure, okay, and then came this GCP, okay. And when I was choosing that which cloud platform to learn, then why I choose Azure, let me tell you my thought process. I started doing my research, okay, and when I searched for AWS, of course there was high demand, but there was high supply as well. Whenever I used to see anyone around me, every second person had this AWS certification. Okay, then I thought that no, very high demand is there. Let's drop this. Okay, so I dropped this AWS. When I searched for GCP, its demand was low demand, and supply was also low. Both the things were there. Okay, so I thought that if demand is low, then like what will I be doing by going into this? Okay. And then this Azure came into picture, and after doing my research, I came to know that its demand was high, but supply was less. Okay. And if in Azure Data Engineering only, like you have become architect, you will easily get 40-45 lakhs. And I mean in technical world, I mean this much is good salary if you are not moving to leadership level. Okay. If you will go and you will learn AWS and GCP also, Of course, your knowledge base will increase, but it's not like that after learning AWS and GCP again, you will get 80 lakhs. I'm just taking an example. These numbers may vary. Getting the point what I'm trying to say. Hello?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
So instead of jack of all and master of none, I I I mean I personally will prefer it to get in-depth knowledge in one cloud platform that I can give solution at the organization level, end-to-end solution, that how they can set up the Azure in their organization, how they can build the pipelines, how they should configure their security systems. Getting the point, making sense what I'm trying to say. Instead of moving to all other technologies, I will try to build my expertise in this so that I can individually lead Azure cloud platform at organization level with any problem. Making sense what I'm trying to say.
I'm positive. I'm positive.
Or you can learn these things also, but I don't see, this is my personal perception. You can take your call. Of course, you can learn, but from my point of view, if already I am in a very high demand technology, then why I will be wasting my energy in learning these things? I personally will not. And all cloud
Also,
platforms are more
also
or
the
less similar. Yes, yes, please.
also the for the company perspective, do you require the for the certificate for the companies to giving the interview now?
Sorry, come again. I didn't get it.
Are we required the certification for the those things like all the certifications required for the
No,
company?
no, let me tell you the picture of certification. Okay. Of course, let me tell you picture of certification. Like I have taken more than 500-600 interviews in my career for this Azure Data Engineering profile. And people have bunch of certification in this in their profile, 5-6 certification. And when I start asking questions, they even don't know where that option is present. I ask them that where can you see the JSON code of PDF pipeline? They don't know where is that present. So certification become useless. You need to learn how you have to work. Okay, you don't need to go for certification because for doing certification, also you'll be needing to invest time and time has value. You'll be needing, if you do any good certification, you will be needing at least 1 month of time, 2 months of time to study that, prepare that well, and then sit for certification. Okay. If you are doing certification and you don't have knowledge, then that is worthless. Now, it might be possible that the interviewer in front of you doesn't know anything and they just hire you based on your certification, then that is a different thing. And the chances for that is very less, right? That only by seeing the certification people are hiring you. No, that is not possible. There will be technical discussion and that you need to answer and that you will be able to answer only when you will do hands-on. So certification is not very much important. I believe that you should run after learning that how things work in industry. Making sense? Getting the point? Okay. Do anyone has anything else to ask? Any other question that is popping up in your mind?
Yes, hello.
Okay. Yes, yes, please tell me.
Sir Aditya here. Good afternoon,
Yeah,
sir.
hi. Good afternoon.
I am from civil engineering background. Do this Azure thing will help me in making into IT transition? And also I have
Yes,
done
of course, of
because
course.
I have done a course from Simpleton. It was a
Okay.
scam. They have
Hmm.
charges a lot of money, but couldn't make into.
Hmm.
Are you giving some type of job assistance also or job or some referral to some companies like that during this after completing this course? I want to know.
Okay, we provide job assistance. We will guide you how you will be building your resume, how we will be getting calls. You don't
Yeah.
need to think about our referrals. This technology is so hot that you will be automatically receiving the calls. What you can do, you can make a sample resume on your RAM and you upload that resume in naukri.com and you just check that whether you are receiving calls from companies or not. You can do a live testing. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So
But
I'm just
it,
telling.
but my
Yes, sir.
the BTech branch that I am from, that civil engineering, it will impact or it will not if I learn this.
I did my BTech in electrical engineering.
Oh.
Do you think that it will impact?
No, no.
It's not going to impact. I told you, right? We have transitioned career of many non-IT students as well. BSc students. Okay.
Oh, got my answer.
BCom students. So what? So you are far ahead than them. Don't worry.
Okay, sure. Thank you, sir.
You can have more doubt. You can contact with our team and you can get in touch with me if you have any other doubt that is popping up inside your my mind, because I understand that people who are not working in this domain, what all questions come into their mind. Okay, so your questions will be answered. Don't worry. You contact with team and get in touch with me, and you ask whatever doubts you have.
And Arun sir, how we get these videos throughout the classes?
LMS. We have our LMS system. It's learning management system. Here you will get. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Do anyone has anything else to ask? Okay, so let's drop off for today. Thank you, everyone.
Yes,
Thank you for.
last one question.
Yes. Who is this?
Yeah, Venkat, this.
Venkat. Yes,
Yeah,
Venkat. Tell.
like daily this link only to join, or do you share in your link? Teams to
No,
join class?
not daily. We'll be joining on Saturday, Sunday, and I'll be
Okay.
giving.
Like,
Yes.
okay.
Invite will be shared to you, everyone.
Okay,
Invite will
in
be
WhatsApp.
shared to you. Invite will be shared to everyone,
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
and
Sir.
will be
Timing will be same too, right?
timing will be 10:30 to 11:30.
Tomorrow
But then
also.
Yes, 10:30 to 11:30.
Okay. Thank you.
10:30 to 11:30 in morning only. Okay.
and for
Hi
both
guys.
Saturday and Sunday, na sir?
Yes, Saturday and Sunday.
Hi guys. I have set the link to register yourself, or you can directly call to our number. We will contact you afterward. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye. Thank you for your time. Bye.
Bye.